had the same thing happen to me tonight, and I have no doubt that this is connected to my encounter with the deep web.
God damn, this dude is stupid as f. What it is, guys? It's your boy BLASPHAMOUSHD, and it's been a while since I've decided to ruin my own life by listening to creepypasta stories. If you can see the reflection on the television in the background, as you can see, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, you know, because that's the best time for me to watch scary shit, because it gives me a long amount of time to get it out of my brain before I have to sleep in a dark room. I'm not even joking that I'm really scared of scary shit. A lot of you guys have been trying to get me to listen to up shit for the longest goddamn time. You know something that's really funny? If you can hear my cat meowing in the background, that's happening. When I'm not watching scary shit, that's a cat meowing in the background. But when I am about to watch scary shit, it's that pale white little boy from The Grudge that's meowing. So it's probably best to get this shit over with. I don't know what any of these stories are even remotely about, but I can tell you one thing. The picture that's on screen right now, if it speaks to what the video is gonna be like, probably gonna shit myself in my seat. If I hadn't emptied myself out about a half an hour earlier. Let go! This is never a good idea. But, you know, when's that ever stopped me?
I was home alone one night and decided to browse the deep web. For those of you that don't know, the deep web is a place that you should never visit unless you have the stomach for it. It was the darker side of the web that contains just about every vile thing about humanity that you can imagine. However, unless you have these things called bitcoins, you can't access the darker stuff. But if you find the right sites and have the patience...
Now, this is probably gonna work against me, but I like this guy's production value. He puts the scary music in the background. Just please, God, don't have any added sound effects. I've watched the creepypasta before. Someone had creepy sound effects of a jump scare. I damn near fell off my chair, took my whole computer with me. It was terrifying.
You may be able to get the bitcoins for free. Anyway, I got curious on this night and thought my mom won't be home for a while. One peek can't hurt.
That's what they all say.
I heard about the deep... In the stories, they all state that for those who don't know how to access the deep web, you need to download a browser called Tor that allows you to browse more anonymously than incognito on Google. So I downloaded Tor and got to work. I came across a link called Gateway to the Shadow Web that read, "Send 0.03 BTC to this web address. You will receive access instructions and the link address in 1 to 2 days." After a great deal of time, I had accumulated enough bitcoins. The next day went by without an email until the day after, when I finally received the confirmation email. That night, I went onto the Shadow Web and did some browsing. I stayed away from the gory sites and the red rooms as much as possible and focused on more forums because I knew what to expect on there. I ran across this forum that had these people chatting about dark things surrounding the chat topic. As I was scrolling, I noticed at the very bottom that some anonymous user left nothing more than a link. Being the curious child that I am, I clicked on it, thinking that it would lead to some article or something on that topic.
Hey, that's always a good idea. Click on the link in the place where people are killing each other and stalking one another. I'm lying. Don't ever do that.
It was dark at first, which scared me, but when a masked man appeared on the screen and started talking is when I felt the fear sink in. "Welcome everyone," he said with the light. "I know that you all aren't here to watch me talk all night, so I'll get right to it. Tonight we have a young woman from the streets. She has no idea what an honor it is to be a part of this tonight and how she will be remembered in the future. Although she won't profit from this, some of you will. But before we start betting, I need to go over a few rules, just to ensure that things won't get crazy." Rules? Betting? What? I couldn't even think straight at this point. I was just so bewildered by this. After the masked man went over the rules, I finally understood what was about to begin. This was a betting contest to see who could put this girl through the most torture. The broadcast continued and the betting began. There were chat boxes at the bottom of the screen telling the masked man what to do to the woman. She was a very petite looking woman, so I would imagine that anything they would use to abuse her would hurt her more than someone like me. As the abuse went on, as her screams filled my ears, I was looking for some way to exit the red room because I couldn't bear to watch and do nothing. As I was panicking, I yelled out loud to myself, "This is sick. Once you find a way to exit this nightmare, go straight to the cops." "What did you say?" The screaming stopped, and I was looking at the man in the mask. I don't think he's even in the same room because the room is pitch black, minus the light from the computer screen. It was at this moment that I realized that my mic was on and I couldn't turn it off. The man in the mask said, "What? Can't you handle my show? I was just trying to have fun." I mean, everyone else gets to have fun with their hunting and video games, but I can't. I get to have the 5-0 called on me. A moment of silence went by.
Nope. Yep, that is when you set everything on fire and move to Antarctica. Nope. Damn that. Fuck that. Change my name to Marilyn Monroe. Because I'm a bad one? Nope. I've heard too many horror stories of my motherfuckers finding people from the deep web.
"How would you like to be featured on my next show,
Hell no.
Tess?" He finally said.
Nope.
I trailed in shock. How in the world did he know my name? Come on, a nosy beautiful brunette like yourself would be bet on instantly at a high price. Oh wait, you look confused. It's okay. You don't need to worry because I have everything under control. Now, hold still while I take your picture. Take my... Oh God. Once I realized that the webcam was on, I immediately covered it, still trying to exit the red room. Take your hand off the webcam or else I'll come visit you sooner. That's right, I know where you live. You should really consider using better security on your laptop because I was able to access it quicker than I can my own. There's a good girl, I heard coming from the screen, while he was humming to pass the time. The thought of removing the battery came to my mind immediately. I flipped my laptop over and took out the battery, threw my laptop and started crying. I had no idea what in the world I had just seen. I didn't eat, sleep, or feel much of anything after that for quite a few days. My experience with the deep web happened almost a week ago, and I'm still on edge. I realized that I was being stalked when I was walking home from the local market 2 nights ago. I saw a black SUV, keeping a freakishly close distance to me. I let it slide that night. I know, it sounds stupid, but not last night. I took more detours than I even knew existed on that route to avoid the SUV. When my mom asked, I just told her that there was an incredibly long line at the market. I had the same thing happen to me tonight, and I have no doubt that this is connected to my encounter with the deep web.
God damn, this dude is stupid as fuck. Nope, damn that. I told you, man, move the fucking Antarctica. You know, I changed my name to Jaleel White from Family Matters because I'm not. No, man. No. That shit. See, people have asked me, hey, man, react to the deep web. Go to the deep web. Fuck no, son. Hell no. I love me. Far too much to do none of that shit. Hell no. You can't pay me money. Not enough. Not enough money in the world. Oh, this one looks festive.
It was the summer of 2010, and I had been using Reddit for about a week. I had heard from friends it was truly the front page of the internet, and it was also one of the representatives of the infamous deep web. I wasn't your typical noob, and I was subscribed to all the subreddits. I spent a lot of time reading stories, specifically those concerned with horror. I was instantly in love with No Sleep. I'd read hours of stories, after days of reading and hours of almost salivating over the terror and genius of the writers. I decided to make the leap. I was going to make a comment. Now this honestly isn't a big deal. However, for someone like me, it was terrifying. I felt like it was the first day at a new job, so I began my research to find a story worthy of me actually commenting. I was giddy inside. I ran through my memory considering what stories I had fallen in love with over the last week. It hit me like a set of bricks. There was a story about some man and his wife seeing demons and his plan to see a priest. It wasn't a typical story, and I wanted to make some messed up joke that the only demons he must have seen was his priest molesting him when he was young. I'm not a comedian. I just saw that Reddit is a general consensus that comments are either serious, sarcastic, or sadistic.
That's the internet in general, but that's some rough ass shit. What type of fucked up shit? The only demons he's probably seen is his priest molesting him while he's young. Like, that's oddly descriptive and pretty fucking dark.
I noticed that only he had commented on the post. It was weird because people are typically all over these posts. I opened up to see all the responses. Surely, other people had replied. I was wrong. Every response was from the author. Each one had revealed something more horrible than the last. He knew my name, my email, my mother's name, my father's name, and my address. Every response was a piece of information about me. The responses had gotten more private, and I finally was broken down to about 40 comments. I was frozen, terrified. How did this guy know all this information? I almost remember crying. I was so scared. I'm only 16. I was terrified that something might happen to me or my loved ones. Then there was a link. I had lost my dog about a month ago. I live in a suburban area, and there was a heavy forest there that finally led to a major highway. It was possible that my dog had been hit by a car, and carelessly someone just scooted his carcass into the woods.
Bruh, see, I don't know, man. Like, that's why I really don't leave up comments on the internet. You know, because, like, there's always that fear that you might run into that one mother and your comment was the straw that broke the camel's back. This motherfucker might decide to make it his entire life's blood to ruin your life blood. Like, damn that shit.
I was wrong to assume that and wish that was the case. This link wasn't a normal link. It had numbers and letters and no regular or linear order. It ended in onion. I thought to myself, and said it almost chuckling, it's the deep net. I ran a virtual machine that had a completely encrypted hard drive, and I had a pretty strong VPN on. I opened up my VM and ran Tor. I opened up the hidden wiki and searched to see if the link had matched any of the ones on there. Nope. This man was sending me somewhere private, or maybe somewhere secret. I should have stopped right there. I opened up the link. I never want to see what I saw there ever again. An all-black website appeared, and in the center was a photo of my dog inside of what looked like a factory. Above the photo, it said, "Click me." I did. Then a video replaced the photo. A man walked into frame wearing a mask, not just a regular mask, but the same mask I had worn for Halloween 2 days prior. He had his hands behind his back, like he was holding something. It was the same background of a factory. It was in black and white, and then an old front popped up at the bottom. "Good afternoon, David." He slowly revealed what was behind his back. It was my dog, slaughtered, and what seemed to be knives stuck inside his body. It was fresh. He had been bleeding as the video was being recorded. I was crying, but I was so terrified at the same time. I didn't even notice the tear falling all over my keyboard. The video then swapped to what seemed to be a meat processing center, and there was a woman this time, and she looked like she was screaming. She was naked, and had very graphic things written across her chest in blood. He then put her through a meat processor. Then the man looked like he was coughing up black liquid, and sprayed it all over the floor, and finally he fell over. The last frame I won't ever forget. There was a long lanky figure, and it looked like its skin was all black, except for 2 large blood-red eyes. I didn't tell anyone. Nothing ever happened to me, but I haven't been on Reddit till now. The moral of the story is, don't mess with people on here, because you never know who they actually are.
The moral of the story is to shut the fuck up. Damn that. That's why I don't, Nope. Bruh, I've heard so many crazy stories. I remember I heard this one fucking story of this kid who beat a dude in the video game and was talking shit. This nigga hopped a plane to his state and kicked the shit out of this kid. And what's really fucked up is, like, you know, it was wrong and everything, but, like, I feel like everybody has had that point when they're playing a video game online, especially if they play a lot of video games, or you run into that one person who's like, man, if I just find out where the fuck you live at, I pee on you like R. Kelly. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. if you did, make sure to watch the original video. The link is in the description down below. It is, of course, by The Horror Dimension. I really like this dude. I really like the way he tells his stories. I like the ambiance. I like the music in the background. I really like this guy. Even though he does kind of sound like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, just a little, with his accent just a little bit, but I really like his stuff. I'm gonna watch more of his stuff. Your boy Blastphamoushd, Twisms.